everybody. Welcome to no longer Friday Night Chats. We're going to call it The Week with the Roses.
Yeah. This week with the roses.
This week with the roses.
The week. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Friday Night Chats, we love the show. We love doing the show. But it's increasingly difficult to produce a quality product on Friday nights. We actually pulled it off until we actually listened to the show after the fact and found out that we had some bad audio.
Yeah, we had pretty much no audio.
Bought a new mic.
So we're going to test out this new mic. Now Kevin touched it. Watch this will work. But no, we posted it and everything. And I went the next day to watch it like I always do. And 5 or so minutes in, the sound just went out. So that's what we get for checking before we posted it.
Yeah. Well, when we edit it, we zip through where we know we need the transitions and whatnot. Because my wife's awesome with that. She uses WeVideo. Shout out to WeVideo to do that. And you're getting a lot of practice, or you're going to be getting a lot of practice with WeVideo this week, huh?
Yeah, I have to record a video for school. Yeah. The only thing I have to figure out is how to get the video from my phone to WeVideo, because I feel like we had a problem with that before.
I think, yeah. Well, what we had to do was, I think we figured it out, where you have to send it through Facebook Messenger and then get it on the hard drive.
Boom.
Yeah. So that's how we do the TikToks of the week, because we just save it to our phones and then Facebook Messenger to it, and then
there's probably a much easier way.
Yeah. Dana, help us out.
We just like to make things hard.
Yeah. Dana's probably.
I can download it from my phone to my Google Drive.
Could try that.
I try not to connect my phone though to my school Google Drive account. Anyway, nobody needs to create
our own Google Drive account.
I have my own Google Drive account.
Not through the school though, like through us.
That's what we're using now.
Oh well, then there's that.
I have a lot of Google Drive accounts actually.
Oh. I've never set one up, so like when I'm done doing what I do for a living, I tend to just lay off of, like, I don't like talking to people on the phone, and I don't want to deal with too much. I'll help folks out when I can, but I'm not playing I'm playing little simple games on my iPad at best, or I'm watching streaming something. That's about as technical as I get when I'm not working. Because he wants to do that, all the time. It's crazy.
Boy, we're getting a little in the weeds here.
Yeah.
No one needs to hear all of that.
Yeah.
So this past week, school started back for me. We have 2 weeks of teacher in service before the kids show up, which I think is actually going to be good.
Yeah.
I don't feel nearly as rushed to get through things, and I think it'll be good.
I think because
they get the air conditioner at the building fixed, I'll be happy. And then I came home Friday after ridiculous humidity at school, and then Saturday the AC in our house went out.
Yeah.
But that got fixed in 2 hours. So
got fixed quick and at a great cost.
It wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible. But it was well worth it, every penny. So anyway, I've got a lot of changes happening at school this year. And there's some new administration and some new staffing, and I think it's going to be good. Everybody seems to be in good spirits, and morale seems high.
It's a semi-normal year compared to the last 2 years.
And let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah,
we need it. So I'm excited. It'll be good.
We had a visitor this week.
We did have a visitor. We had a dog just run into our house. And it was a boxer, so it was like a gift to our family.
Yeah.
But I thought it was our next door neighbor's dog, and I saw her run past our garage, and I was like, "Oh no, Layla's out!" And I went out to just let her in through the garage into our backyard, and to let the neighbors know we had her. And as soon as I opened the kitchen door to get into the garage, she just bounded up the steps and came in. So I was took a tour.
I was already outside. I went out to pull some weeds out of the flower beds out front. And, I didn't even notice the dog. I did notice a guy thunder by, but I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, well, because we got neighbors, and that's something I've grown to, let go. The neighbors walking by. Okay. Not a big deal. But so I go back around the corner to go into the garage to get something, and my mother-in-law is like, "Layla's in the house. You need to go next door and get the neighbors." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Layla's in the house." Layla, the dog? How'd the dog get in the house? She says she's just in the house. Go get the neighbors.
Quit
So,
asking questions.
so I don't even know what the hell's going on. So I go around and talk to the neighbors. Now, meanwhile, you're out. You're dealing
Oh,
with the
I'm
dog.
having fun with who we thought was Layla. Turned out it wasn't Layla. She's just running all through the house, and she came in the kitchen. Tilly was in the living room, and she ran into the living room, and it took Tilly a good 10 seconds of what the hell, like she couldn't figure out her little world. And then the dog just ran through the living room and down the hallway, and then Tilly was like, "Oh no, this isn't happening." So she barked a lot. She wasn't aggressive, thankfully. She was, they didn't even mingle. But by the time I got down the hallway, the dog was on mom and dad's bed jumping around and knocked over because she's a boxer, but she had a tail. And there's a reason why boxers don't have tails generally, but she's just whipping that thing around and knocked over some makeup of mom's, and finally got Mike to come out and help, and Mike was just having a blast playing with this dog while I got Tilly distracted. But we finally got her in the backyard, and our neighbor was in his backyard, and he was like, "Oh, who's this? Is she friendly?" And I'm like, "We thought it was your dog."
Which I immediately, like, I went to go knock on the neighbor's door. Of course, he's outside, so he didn't hear anything. I go back around and I see our adjoining fence, and he's standing there talking to this dog. So I walk over and I'm like, I finally see the dog, and I immediately know it's not Layla because Layla's a smaller.
I've only
puppy.
ever seen Layla through the fence.
Right.
And she's a new dog to them.
Yeah.
It's not like they've had this dog for years.
Don't. I get the mistake. Layla's a different color. She's black, and the Lucy was more of a reddish.
Oh, Lucy was boxer all the way.
But she's a boxer. Yeah,
cute.
It was fun having the extra pup in the house.
It was. I enjoyed it a lot. A lot of
excitement for the house.
Yeah, and we're a boxer family here, so we suddenly find a boxer in our house, and it's like playtime. So, not so much for Tilly. Tilly was in guard mommy mode 100%. Until I went out with the dog in the backyard, and Tilly was at the door just barking. She was not happy. Yeah. Especially when we found out the dog's name is Lucy. Especially when Lucy jumped up and gave me a big kiss. And yeah, Tilly didn't like that. And she sniffed every single inch of me when I came back in. But she adjusted okay. It wasn't
She's
horrible.
actually been a bit more aggressively protective since then.
You think so?
Well, she's growled a little bit more at stuff that usually she
growls at inanimate objects like laundry hampers and
the grabby.
The little dad has this thing, you squeeze the end and it grabs things to pick up off the floor. She will sit for hours and just growl at that. It's not even moving, it just sits there. Mm-hmm. She doesn't like it. But yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, she's just been a little bit more aggressive with that stuff.
Okay. So anyway, we had decided we were going to do some news stories every week, and then we recorded it, and we were both depressed by the end of the news stories.
Yeah, because it was just all Afghanistan, which is horrible. And God bless those people over there, and our hearts go out to the families that lost the loved ones and everything. But Jesus, it's just so...
It's terrible.
We don't want to talk about that.
Yeah,
you guys don't want to hear about it.
You
know about it.
We're going to go for some good news.
She found some good news while I was working.
So we'll go back. What's today? The 29th. So we'll go August 28th back a week. How about that?
There we go.
Because it's one story for every day.
Oh, nice.
All right. And we'll just read this
What's the website?
sunnyskies.com. Positive good news.
With a Z. Sky with a Z.
So the good news for yesterday was U.S. Special Forces veterans U.S. Special Forces veterans secretly rescue hundreds of allies in Afghanistan.
Oh, that's awesome.
An all-volunteer group of American veterans of the Afghan War launched a final daring mission dubbed the Pineapple Express to shepherd hundreds of at-risk Afghan elite forces to their families to safety.
Well, those are the people that know how to do it, that's for sure. Put those people in charge.
Put the special forces in there, and then, yeah. But that's good. It's good to hear people getting to safety.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's people taking it in their own hands. And I say, hell yeah.
Yep. All right. You got the next one. August 27th.
Teen thinks he's in trouble with neighbors, gets surprised with gifts instead. Okay, that is August 27th. A teenager got a knock on his door from neighbors and thought he was in trouble for dribbling his basketball too much. That's not why they were there.
All right,
So
hold
now
on.
she's
I'm going to
clicking
click
on
on
the story
that
because
so
we
we can
need
see.
more. Anthony Myobeek from Edmonton, Canada, loves basketball.
Oh, sorry.
Plays for hours a day in his driveway, and he's using branches as nets and dribbling for up to 4 hours a day. Ian Ray, who lives next door for over a decade, noticed the teen's skills and put a call for help on Facebook. He was just a kid who dribbles a basketball all day, all night, Ian told Global News. I kind of figured it would be cool if he had a net.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. So he puts it on Facebook. Anybody have a net they're willing to part with, so this kid has a hoop to shoot at. And I guess they raised $750.
That's more than enough.
And they got him a net.
That's awesome.
So that is awesome. People doing good things. Look at that.
That's, you know what? I've said this on the pod before. You help people out when you can. You know?
You know, the good part about that story is that the neighbor wasn't annoyed with the dribbling for hours and hours.
Yeah.
You know,
well, he's seeing the kid trying to be...
He's out there playing basketball.
Doing his own thing.
Yep. Our neighbor's kids for a while were doing... They play basketball in the court. And sometimes they'd be out there at 10 o'clock at night dribbling their basketball. But, you know, if they're out there playing basketball in the court, they're not doing other things, which they shouldn't be doing. So,
yeah.
That's good. All right, next one. Firefighter rescues deaf dog from storm drain in a 10-hour operation.
Jeez.
Firefighters, police, paramedics, and other city workers worked around the clock to rescue a 15-year-old deaf dog trapped in a storm drain. Aww.
So that's got to be super difficult because you say, "Come here, boy," and hope the dog comes to you, and that's bad enough. But when the dog can't hear,
yeah.
Oh my God. Aww. But they got him.
Good for them.
Good for them.
All right.
Model quits the catwalk to teach
sewing and design.
Sewing and design to underprivileged women. Successful model from Poland has ditched the catwalk to go to Kenya and teach sewing and design to underprivileged women.
Well, there you go. That's a big commitment to go from Poland to Kenya.
You're going to hate me when I say this.
Then you probably should.
She's looking for cheap labor. Now, don't get me wrong. Even if that's the case, that's great because that's using the market to help these people out. These people now have a skill and a trade, and they can make money off it where they had no opportunity. This is opportunity. You're providing opportunity to people that, historically have had zero opportunity. More power to them. So if that's what she's looking for, if she's just trying to help them out, either way, she's teaching them a usable skill.
Yes, what she's doing is good.
It is good. It's fantastically good.
She's not a clothing. She's a model.
Yeah.
She's not a clothing designer or a manufacturer or anything like that.
Yeah.
She's just a model.
Yeah.
Okay.
God bless her.
God bless her. All right, next story. Restaurant diner asks staff to gather, gives them $10,000. A customer at a Gainesville restaurant left the staff a $10,000 tip to share.
Wow.
Holy moly. I'm going to click on that. We need to know more.
Yeah, we do need to know more.
Let's see. Oof, look at that. Wrote it right on the $144 bill, which is a lot at a restaurant. That's an expensive bill.
We'll go up with the order.
10 G's. It doesn't say what he ordered.
It doesn't?
No.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Seafood. It's a seafood restaurant.
Yeah.
Let's see. Last Tuesday, a customer at Wahoo Seafood Grill asked the entire restaurant staff to come to the dining area. He thanked all 10 of them for showing up and working hard. Then something incredible happened. He told them he was giving them $1,000 each. I'm not usually an emotional guy, but this really got me. I'm blown away. We're all blown away by his generosity. How cool is that? I was just sitting here thinking 10 people is not, that's such a small staff. But, in these difficult times,
$1,000 each. That's a good tip.
that's good. I mean, see, this is why we're reading this news and not the other news.
Yeah, this is way better.
Because there are good people out there. There are good people out there. Don't lose sight of that. All right, August 23rd.
August 23rd. Congress passes bill to help veterans with PTSD get service dogs.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
A bill to connect more veterans with service dogs trained to support mental health conditions is headed to the president's desk.
Well,
Sweet.
Joe will probably sign it, and there
Let's
you go.
Hope he signs it.
Finally, Congress getting together and doing something good.
Yep. And I'm going to tell you what, those veterans that have those service dogs, those dogs are everything to them.
Oh, yeah.
I remember hearing the story with Marcus Luttrell.
Oh, yeah.
When those kids shot his dog and he chased them down and called the cops on his way and said, if I catch them before you do, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky for them, the cops got him first because that man's a badass. So.
Yeah. So today is what? Yeah, we started on the 28th, so we got to go back to the 21st.
Yep.
There's not one for them. Must have been no good news on the 22nd.
Yeah. Well, the 21st, a 9-year-old asked for Jeeps to escort her father at his funeral. The Jeep company answered the call.
The Jeep community.
Jeep community. Okay. Sorry about that.
A 9-year-old girl asked for Jeep drivers to join her father's funeral procession because she shared a love for Jeeps with her dad. Aw, I wonder how many. Let's see. She's little. 100 Jeep owners joined the funeral procession for Chad Disler in Hubert, Oklahoma. He loved Jeeps. 42 years old, loved Jeeps, and was part of a local Jeep group. Aww.
Who is it? Is it Pierce that's in the Jeeps? I know he posts memes from time to time about how he loves them, but they're like expensive and you're constantly fixing them or whatever. I don't know if that's a thing or not.
It's pretty much true of every car, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that thing's kind of designed for rough and tumble. And I think about Billy's Jeep. And
they were service trucks at first, right?
Yeah.
So good news. It's good to read good things.
Yeah, it is good to read good things.
You don't ever see good things anymore on the news, and or hear good things.
Because even if you watch the local news, they start with all the murders, and that's lately that's been up. So.
Yeah. All right, so good news. Anyway.
Good news.
Finally. So I think that's what we're going to try to hit some good news stories every week.
There we go.
Mingled in with things that might have happened to us.
There you go.
Might bring a smile to your face.
There we go. And then it'll be the week with the roses. This week with
this week with the roses.
Yeah.
We're rebranding ourselves. It's been 26 weeks, and Friday nights are getting tough.
Yeah. Hey, especially with school starting and whatnot. It's a little easier for us on the weekends, even though
we can record on Saturday, and then I have all day Sunday to edit.
There you go.
So,
Well, today's Sunday, isn't it?
I know. Well, we didn't record last night because the AC was out, and we were looking rough.
It was horrible. Yeah.
All right. So when we come back, we have table topics, and then our TikTok video of the week. But stay tuned for table topics. We've already picked our 5. We haven't looked at them yet. So hopefully we'll learn something interesting about each other.
And we're back.
That was easy. Kevin ran out and checked on the roast.
I got a roast on the spit.
He's rotisserieing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pork roast.
That sounds right. Pork roast.
Yeah.
Looks good. Probably should have took a picture of it, but I didn't.
He takes a picture of everything else he grills.
So
there'll be a picture later.
Yeah.
If you're Facebook friends, watch out for it because it's coming at you. But he just ran out and checked the temperature on it.
First, table topics.
Table topics. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Is trust a naive or sophisticated quality?
I think it's sophisticated. I'll say sophisticated. I mean, trust to gain it is somewhat simple. You just be truthful with people and shoot straight with them. But once that trust is lost, well, it's very complicated to get it back. Now, I'm a person who believes in second chances and whatnot, but there is never that full trust with somebody who's betrayed that trust. So I guess it's more complicated.
I think if you run around just trusting everything blindly, that's a little bit naive.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to trust.
So I think some people can treat trust naively, whereas they just trust everything everybody tells them.
The old trust but verify.
Yeah. I tend to trust people until I have a reason not to.
There you go.
And like you said, that once that's gone, it's hard with everybody, even little kids, like even my 5-year-olds, like they tend to lie about little things. And then once they do that, you just always have that in your head. Like, are they being honest with me about this? So I guess I agree. It depends on the person. To some people, trust is very simple, and to others, it's sophisticated.
I try not to look at anything in black and white terms either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're better at it than I am.
Yeah.
All right. First question for you.
All right. First one. First card. What would you like to learn to do on your computer?
Fix it when it goes bad. I'd like how to reboot before calling for help.
Yeah. I'm good. I do it for a living. I don't really. Yeah, it's not my.
I mean, I'd love to learn more about podcasting. I feel like we're just, making it work.
Yeah.
Kind of old school way or whatever. Just not really using all the equipment and the soundboards and all of that. I just don't really have a need for that. But yeah. I mean, I'd like to learn new things on the computer.
Yeah. Moving on.
Kevin would rather not be on the computer. Should everyone be required to work in the service industry at some point in their lives?
No.
Yeah, I agree. No, you shouldn't require anybody to do anything.
Yeah, requirements are just dumb. You shouldn't force people to do something they don't want to do, regardless. I mean, really.
And some people would really be bad at it, and they would hate it, and it would show.
And that messes up the interaction for that person. You're forced to be there and do something. You're going to be bad at it. Well, basically, you're also forcing the person on the other end of the counter to experience that bad experience. There's no winning there at all.
I mean, you could say it for anything. Should people forced to work in education at least once in their life? Should people be forced to join the military?
Nope.
So, I mean, you could really make that argument if you wanted to for any. And I get there are a lot of people out there who mistreat people who work in service industry.
Right. I see the value. Don't get me wrong. I see the value, especially for kids. Because when I was a kid, I had a part-time job working at Hardee's. And, that was great experience. It teaches you as a kid that your job's going to punch you in the face and you just got to take it. And that's something that these kids, they come up, they go to school, they don't get part-time jobs. They go to college, they expect to get out of that job at a corner office making, bank money with no effort. And they're not punched in the face. There's value in getting punched in the face by life. So
it's called experience.
Take the beating. Sometimes you got to take the beating. I take a beating for a living. So trust me when I can say there is value in taking a beating.
Okay.
So, moving on. What's your favorite board game?
You know what? When I was young, my favorite board game was Payday.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I thought it was fun to actually get a pretend paycheck and pay pretend bills, and then when I got real bills, that game became not fun anymore.
Yeah.
My favorite board game. I don't know.
I could say, because when we played board games when the kids are around, Monopoly is a lot of fun. But it's more about the card games, like Uno, Phase 10.
We don't play a lot of board games.
Yeah, it's more about
we play party games or card games.
Cards Against Humanity, if there's a bunch of adults, there's nothing more fun than hanging out with a bunch of adults who
How about the one, what was the drawing game that we had?
Oh my God, we can't even show that video.
No, we can't, but that was really fun.
Yeah. Although I did my best drawing ever was with the Jaws thing.
Yeah. Clue was always a fun board game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monopoly is not a fun board game.
No. Well, it was fun when we played
Boring,
with
and
the kids.
there's no end to it.
Yeah.
All right. My turn or your turn?
No, I just read that.
Okay. So. My turn. Is it more charitable to spend your money or time?
Time. Anybody can just give money, you know.
I agree. Time is definitely.
Time is much more valuable than money.
Yep.
So money is great if you want to give. You know, when disasters happen, we got this hurricane that's getting ready to beat the hell out of New Orleans. Please send your money down there. Please send your money down there. You know, Red Cross is great for that kind of stuff. Give your money to the Red Cross. Donate blood, whatever you can. But if you can do time, you know, doing something good, spend the time to do something good. It's so much more rewarding. But yes, please send money to
I think
New Orleans.
It's more rewarding for both parties when it's your time that you're giving.
Mm-hmm.
When you're just giving money, you don't get that feeling of...
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what else? Time just keeps on ticking. Ticking.
Into the future. Little Steve Miller for you.
All right. You're up. These questions are not hard tonight.
I know. The ones we did recorded before.
The ones that we recorded with no sound were awesome.
Yeah, we should check that recording to see if the sound is there. We can add it on as an extra video on the channel.
It's late. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. If you could compete for a $1 million prize on any reality TV show, which would you choose? I know the answer to this before. I know it.
I would go on Big Brother.
Really?
You don't think I would?
I would have thought The Wall.
Is that a reality show? That's a game show.
It's the same thing.
No, it isn't.
Well, it says any reality TV show. I guess
a reality TV show is like
Big Brother, yeah.
The Bachelor, Big Brother, Survivor.
Yeah.
The Wall. I would go on The Wall in a heartbeat.
Yeah. It's just a great show and it's fun to watch. I mean, some of it is overly. They make it to be overly dramatic. Like when they get all cuddly at the end, and I'll love you regardless.
Yeah,
of what you
a lot of that is.
Oh, you just cost us $1 million. I want to see somebody get punched in the face. That would be
What
great.
is up with you?
I just think that would be fun. A real reaction.
They pick people for that show that are not your,
Although that one guy with his cousin or whatever, the bus driver, and the guy totally screwed up all of the questions.
They lost everything.
Yeah, it was sad.
Of course, they got there. I mean, they really didn't lose.
They didn't lose anything.
They had nothing taken from them. They got there with nothing. They left with nothing. But
first time we watched the show, it was heartbreaking because it was a military guy who had some injuries or whatever, and they were doing charity work. And we watched the ball. They dropped it from one, which is statistically almost impossible to land in $1 million slot. Rocket down for whatever reason, just hit a path and rocket it right down to the $1 million spot and got nothing.
Yeah, it was a red ball.
It was crazy.
Yeah. If you've never seen The Wall, it's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kind of with Plinko.
Yeah.
And they have to answer questions, and if they get the questions right, the balls turn green, and then they win whatever money it lands in. If the question's wrong, then they lose the money.
And the host is awesome.
But the host is awesome, and they're really good people. They're picking people that have, that they give their time and they do service to their community and stuff like that. Yeah, check it out.
The host is Chris Hardwick, who does the after show for The Walking Dead called The Talking Dead, and he's also headed the Nerdist, which is a kind of a comic book movie pop culture website. So,
well, what reality show would you go on?
I would have been The Wall because I can do that. They did a question one night on The Wall that if I was in the room answering the question, I would have became Chris Hardwick's favorite contestant of all time. I know it. They asked a question about what the little plastic things are on the end of shoelaces. And I immediately knew what it was because there was an episode, and this is where the Nerdist thing comes in. There was an episode of Justice League Unlimited where they had the question had been kidnapped by Lex Luthor and the whole big band of things, but they were torturing him to get information. And they kept asking him, tell me something I don't know. You're just telling me stuff I know. He says, tell me something I don't know. And he goes, inklets are the plastic pieces on the end of shoelaces. They're what was it he said? He said, their true purpose is sinister. It's just a hilarious moment. But
I thought we were gonna make it all. I really did.
oh well.
I thought we were gonna make it.
We're talking about the Nerdist. What do you want to happen?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
What's the best way to deal with stress?
Well, for me, it's when I'm able to kick back, relax, and for me, it's when we're at the end of the night and it's me, you, and the dog, and we're watching the boys. That's the best stress relief of all time. But if we can go somewhere and be somewhere, like when we're going to the mountains or whatever, that's always super stressful.
Yeah, but like your daily stress, like
on the daily, it's the end of the night when it's just me, you, and Tilly, and we're watching the boys, and that's it.
That moment when we turn the TV off and we turn the light off, and it's just like, that's my favorite moment of the whole day.
Yeah.
I eat. It's not the best way to deal with stress, but probably the worst way. It's just, actually, I've been pretty good lately. I'm not stress eating.
I gave up drinking a long time ago, so
yeah. Thankfully, we don't use those ways to, I'll have an ice cream probably later tonight, but look, I switched to Coke Zero.
Cherry.
Yeah, but there's no sugar in it.
No sugar, no calories. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Oops. All right, you're up.
Would you rather be lucky or wise?
Ooh. Lucky.
Yeah, I would think so. The thing about being unlucky is that's how you get wisdom. I mean, seriously, you get wisdom when you experience things and mistakes and.
I would hate to be like the wisest person out there, but you're just unlucky, so you keep getting like hit by a bus, and you keep stubbing your toe on the same chair, and I'd rather not have to deal with all those little unlucky mishaps and be stupid.
Reminds me of one of the first showings that Tom Hanks did on SNL. They said, there's a person in New York City who's robbed every 15 seconds.
And
here's that guy. And it was Tom Hanks. And somebody would just come up and like just gank him right there.
That was Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
I did not know that was Tom Hanks.
Even got stabbed, and when that was hilarious. It was hilarious.
It was the same guy who kept getting mugged every 30 seconds.
One guy is getting mugged every 15 seconds.
All right. Who's your favorite celebrity right now and why?
Ooh. Wow, that is a good question because, the first thing today is Ed Asner passed today. So Ed Asner is like super lefty, but I enjoy his work. He's done a lot of voice work. He did Lou Grant. He was Johnny's stepdad in Cobra Kai. So I'm hoping that they do some sort of mention on that with season 4. But I don't know. It's favorite celebrity. I mean, it's probably obviously going to be one of the boys, the Impractical Jokers, but that's too easy. Rob Emmer, I like because when he posts stuff on...
I don't know if I'd call him a celebrity.
Yeah. But he puts stuff on social media, and then I'll
comment on it. And I'm not a celebrity.
Yeah. But he replies to it, and he doesn't have to. We have an intent watcher right now.
We have an audience. Tilly's just sitting in a chair just looking at us like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, it's the show, baby. It's the show.
Favorite celebrity right now? You know who I like? I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Just because he doesn't pull any punches. I saw a TikTok by Wayne Brady yesterday that kind of bumped up my... Because I guess he did a TikTok video about his daughter starting college.
Oh, wow.
And he and his ex-wife were together. They just dropped her off, and they were talking about how it had been, difficult and it wasn't always good and whatever, but they did it. They got her there. And I don't know, someone made a dumbass comment, and he just let that lady, like, look, I'm talking about my own daughter. If you don't like whatever, just get off my page. Get your ass off my page. And I was like, good for you, Wayne Brady. Like,
and because he was watch a lot of that on TikTok where they show little clips from Whose Line It Is Anyway. It's a hilarious show. You gotta watch it.
He's awesome. He was awesome.
Yeah, that's always good stuff. He's hilarious.
I don't really have a favorite celebrity.
Yeah, because I enjoy their work, but I don't really care what they do outside of work, one way or the other. I mean, I think it's nice that some of them do a lot of good charitable work.
As
but I
they
don't
should.
give a shit about their opinion, even if it's
No.
one that I share. Vince Vaughn is a raging libertarian, but I don't give a shit. He does good work. I like his work. He kind of plays the same guy every time he's on the screen, but a lot of people get off on that. Paul Rudd, 51-odd-year-old Paul Rudd. What are you looking at now?
She was falling asleep.
Oh.
Okay, ask your last question.
Oh, let me ask the last question. Which do you enjoy most, music, television, or movies?
Television.
Yeah.
That was an easy one for me.
I like movies. I do watch. I like watching certain series, but I like movies because most of the time it's a good story that has. If it's got a good beginning, middle, and end, that's a good story. Of course, you have trilogies and whatnot, but movies have the opportunity to be a lot more epic. Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's very nice.
Stop. Let Daddy talk.
That's very nice. Thank you. Okay.
Tilly.
Okay. Thank you. Anyway, so I like movies, but there are TV shows that I've watched several times. I've seen them every episode, and I've seen every episode several times. But just something about the movies, about going to the movies. I used to take my niece and nephew to the movies almost every week. When I was a kid, my aunt Kathleen would use a movie theater as a babysitter. So I just had this love of the theater, going to the movie theater. And I'm definitely, apprehensive of going back to the theater. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. But I'm probably going to go back for Spider-Man. So, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, Tilly.
She's a good girl.
I'm not much of a movie fan. I mean, I like movies, but I could, I'm a TV, 38-minute episode. I don't like to be too invested anymore. I've become ADD with my television watching. Mm-hmm. But put on some Dr. Phil. I'm good. I just want something I can come in and out of. I don't want to have to get attached.
Yeah.
So, and music, I mean, I'm not much of a music listener.
I listen to music.
I get too distracted by music.
Yeah. I'll throw music on in the car.
Yeah. All right, so we will be back. That's it for our table topics. We're running through this pack of table topics, so we're going to buy a new pack. This one's called the dinner party pack. Mm-hmm. So maybe the next one we'll get will have different types of questions and stuff in it.
Yeah. But invest in it. It's good stuff. Get a pack, bring it home, talk to your family about it. Just pull some cards one night and just start. It's not a points game or anything like that. I guess they do have some sort of points.
No, it's just a conversation starter.
Just grab some cards and talk about it. It's really, I think it's been therapeutic even.
Yeah, because there's always a little something that I learn about you that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and that's always a good thing. Right? Right, Tilly? Right. What, did you just have the urge to sit with Daddy? Yeah, you want him to hold you while you fall asleep.
She's a good girl. We love this dog.
Spoiled. All right, so we will be back next week with This Week with the Roses.
Yep.
Probably on Sunday. And our TikTok video of the week's coming up next.
All right.
So stay tuned for that.
Bye, everybody.